Greetings and welcome again to Thoughts Outside the Box. I'm your host, the Professor. Today I wanted to discuss retrograde planets, and by far the most popular and talked about retrograde planet is Mercury. And Mercury goes retrograde about 3 or 4 times a year for typically 2.5 weeks or so. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is retrograde mean? Well, retrograde motion occurs when the speed of the Earth either overtakes or the speed of another planet overtakes the Earth, kind of like cars on the freeway. So if you imagine the Earth as your car moving down the freeway, and say another car or truck is moving faster in the other lane, it's going to appear as if you're moving backwards. This is precisely the illusion that's occurring during Mercury retrograde or any other retrograde involving the planets. The planets appear to be moving backwards through the zodiac for a brief period of time. Now, there are a few things to avoid during retrograde motion, particularly with Mercury. The first is making a major purchase of any kind, like a car or a refrigerator, anything like that, is typically not advisable during Mercury retrograde. Also, beginning a new job or something really, really big is not very advisable either. That being said, these things happen, and it's not the end of the world if something starts during retrograde. Just understand that retrograde will be a part of the correspondence of whatever you've initiated. So to really properly understand retrograde, you really need to see this time not as something to be afraid of or to make a big deal out of. Frequently, people seem to panic whenever there's Mercury retrograde. Oh, this thing broke in my house, or I've got a flat tire, or the credit card machine didn't work. Retrograde motion causes upsets in the correspondence of Mercury. Mercury represents communication, thought, and organization. And so anything that involves those kinds of transactions, whether it be a verbal message, whether it be an electronic message, or the inner workings of a device, are going to be upset a lot of the time during Mercury retrograde. So what we need to do as human beings, really to be responsible, and my opinion is, once you're aware of what's going on in the zodiac, you're responsible. And people don't like to hear that often, but really the trick is, how can we make retrograde work for us? And retrograde is a good time for reorganization, revision, repair, any of those kinds of things. So if there's things around your house that need work that you've been putting off, fix them. If you're writing a manuscript and you're just not satisfied with it, or composing a piece of music perhaps, revise it, make it better. Perhaps it's as simple as rearranging the furniture in your house, or going through your closets and finding clothes that you can give to the homeless. These are all positive uses of Mercury retrograde and retrograde planets in general. So understanding this correspondence to retrograde, that it's a time of reflection, revision, repair, anything with the prefix generally that starts with RE, is going to be an empowered way of looking at retrograde. Hey, thanks again for tuning in to Thoughts Outside the Box. And as always, be the change you wish to see in the world.